What's poppin', guys? Gar Champion here, and today we are going to be doing something slightly different than normal. We are going to see how each Hashira can do in a battle against Gyutaro and Daki. First, we will be diving into Gyutaro and Daki's abilities to fully understand their strengths in combat. Then, we will compare them to each Hashira to see where they stand. Each Hashira will be going head to head with them individually, against both at the same time, and then for fun, we are going to see the best combination of Hashiras to take down Gyutaro and Daki. If you're wondering about each Hashira's abilities, I've covered each of them individually and done character breakdowns for all of them. Links will be in the description below if you want to check out that playlist. All you anime onlys, we are actually going to be keeping the spoilers from upcoming arcs hidden from you guys, so this video is pretty safe to watch. Please note that these are all based on my opinions and that you guys are free to have your own opinions as well. If you disagree with anything I have to say, feel free to kindly let me know in the comments below. Timestamps will also be in the description below if you just wanted to skip ahead to the head-to-head matchups. You can view this video however you want. Now that all the ground rules are covered, let's get started. Gyutaro. Physically, he is strong, fast, has good reflexes, and can regenerate quickly due to the amount of Muzan's blood he has within him. And despite his frailty appearance, his body is very durable. During the Entertainment District arc, Tanjiro's blade is unable to slice through his neck and even stop a blade with his teeth. His weapon of choice are dual-wielding kamas, made from his own flesh and bone. Ew. He is able to create a highly toxic poison with his blood and puts a timer on his human opponents. We see the potency of his poison, as after the battle, Inosuke nearly died from it, and then Tengen had a lot in his system and was on the brink of death as well. Poison isn't the only thing he can do with his blood. He can even manipulate them in any way he chooses until he hits his opponent, like making them into hardened objects and changing their trajectory. Let's go over his blood demon arts. Flying blood sickles. He creates multiple blood sickles with his hardened blood by swinging his kama. He can also control these at will. Rampant arc rampage. He creates a dome of solidified blood sickles around him to protect him from incoming attacks. Rotating circular slashes. Flying blood sickles. He releases circular waves of hardened blood from his body. This attack has a massive range and can even do it as he is beheaded. Some of his other abilities revolve around his sister, Daki. He is able to live within her, and is speculated that he feeds off of whatever she feeds on as well. His connection with her is great as he has the ability to control her and see what she sees, and even speak with her via psychic connection. He is also able to detach his core from his body and lend strength to her. His greatest attribute, in my opinion, is the fact that he has such a special bond with his sister, it grants him a beheading immunity unless beheaded together, making them very hard to kill. He also holds an accomplishment of slaying 15 Hashiras in his lifetime. So a quick overview. He is physically strong, can manipulate his blood, spread poison to put his foes on a timer, and can only die if Daki is beheaded at the same time. That's quite the resume for a rank 6 demon. Let's discuss Daki. She is the weaker of the two, but is not one to underestimate as she has killed 7 Hashira in her lifetime. Like Gyutaro, she is optically strong, fast speed and reflexes, has good intellect, and can regenerate quickly. She has a unique ability to manipulate and control her obi and hair. She is able to create an obi from her flesh and control it at her own will. She's even able to detach it from herself, as well as give it some of her strength. This is known as sentient obi, where it has cognitive function. Her obi is also unique because it is able to store people within it and save them for later. One of her most powerful attacks is 8-layered obi slash. 8 long-range obi slashes that cut down opponents from afar and is hard to dodge or evade. She shares a special connection with Gyutaro as she is able to share her sight and senses with him, helping with coordinating attacks, as well as getting strength from him. She is hard to kill completely as she also has the beheading immunity unless both her and Gyutaro are beheaded at the same time. As a quick overview, she can easily put pressure on her opponents with her long-range attacks that make it hard to get close to her. She can coordinate with Gyutaro by sharing her senses and even gaining power from him. And she can even store people within her obi if need be. Now that we've covered their abilities, it's time to dive into the head-to-head matchups. Also, I did want to mention as well that for these solo matches against Gyutaro and Daki, we are eliminating their beheading immunity, since it technically is a one-on-one. I think it's only fair to start with Daki, and not because of ladies first thing, but because you are more likely to encounter her since Gyutaro is spending most of his time within her. We'll start with style and flashiness. Tengen Uzui, Sound Hashira, in a one-on-one matchup against Daki would result in an easy victory for Tengen. He is shown beheading her multiple times effortlessly, so this is a quickie, nothing more to discuss. Gyutaro Rengoku, Flame Hashira. We know he couldn't solo upper rank 3 Akaza. He was also being toyed with the whole time, but he did have potential in the eyes of Akaza. One important factor I'm using to make my judgment for this one is the fact that Rengoku handled all of Enmu's tentacles by himself, and no one was killed on the Mugen train. He was also a lower rank 1, which is essentially one notch below Gyutaro and Daki's level. With this performance on the Mugen train, I will give a W to Rengoku. Mitsuri Kanroji, love Hashira. This is an easy one as she goes head to head with Zohakuten, the strongest form of Huntengu, which he is the upper rank 4 demon. Mitsuri would easily win with her whip-like sword and counter her obis with ease. Muchiro Tokito, Mist Hashira. His outstanding performance against upper rank 5 Gyoko makes this an easy one to decide. Muchiro would claim victory over Daki with his pure speed and quick reflexes before she can even attack, just like Tengen. Obanai Igaru, Serpent Hashira. We saw in the opening sequence of the Hashira training arc that Obanai can easily handle multiple opponents at once. With his slithering movements shown when training Tanjiro, helps me believe he can easily dodge incoming Obi attacks. Therefore, the winner is clear as day and Obanai would take down Daki. Sanemi Shinigazawa, Wind Hashira. A reckless fighter, but strong nonetheless. We get to see him put his strength on display against multiple opponents, and then during the Hashira training arc, we get to see him spar at equal terms with Obanai, Muchiro, and Giyu. I can say without a doubt that Sanemi can easily cut through Daki's Obi and behead her. Giyu Tomioka, Water Hashira. Every chance we get to see him in action, he is shown to be very skilled and strong. He could have beheaded Rui and the entire spider family in his sleep without breaking a sweat. He's also shown to be at equal terms of combat with Sanemi as well. Giyu's water-breathing mastery with Dead Calm will stop Daki in her tracks and effortlessly defeat her. Gyome Himajima, Stone Hashira. This is probably the easiest one of them all. He beheaded Muzan with a single swing in the Hashira training arc. Daki stands no chance in hell. And I saved the best for last. Shinobu Kocho, Insect Hashira. Trying to keep my favoritism aside, I don't think she can behead Daki. But what she can do is easily dodge her attacks and then inject her deadly poisons into her, and she will die from poisoning. She is shown to be fast and can evade attacks with ease when fighting the Spider Sister. That's all the anime onlys have to go off of, but take my word for it, she can withstand Daki. To conclude these matchups, this is a strong batch of Hashiras, and Daki does not stand a chance against any of them. Next is Gyutaro, Tengen Uzui, Sound Hashira. Tengen has a poison resistance on his side for this one, but that is not enough. Gyutaro overpowers him and ended up losing his hand and an eye. He would have died if it wasn't for the help of the main cast and Demon Nezuko. Gyutaro Rengoku, Flame Hashira. It's hard to say exactly based off of the anime alone, so my verdict will be based off of his fight with Akaza and some of the other side stories. The fight that sealed his Hashira position and his first mission are good ones to go off of. He solos both opponents even to the point of injuring himself to defeat the Flute Demon. Then his performance against Enmu's attacks on the Mugen train. He is able to defeat lower ranked demons as well as ones who are about to be lower ranked demons. So it all boils down to Akaza. He is upper rank 3 and Gyutaro is upper rank 6. So we need to determine how great the power scale between them really is, because Akaza is playing with his food, so to speak, with Rengoku. It seems that how the ranks are, they are pretty on point with the power scale based on their abilities. As much as I'd hate to say it, I think in the long run, Rengoku would not be able to defeat Gyutaro fast enough before the poison took him out. If it wasn't for the poison, I think he could pull out a W. Mitsuri Kanroji, love Hashira. She held her own until almost daybreak against the strongest form of Huntengu, who is in theory much stronger than Gyutaro. I think with her flexibility and swift movements with her sword, she can block all ranged attempts at poisoning her. I think it also helps that her weapon gives her more range than Gyutaro's Kama, giving her the advantage. So I'd say about 60% of the time she wins, 40% she loses. Muchiro Tokito, Mist Hashira. This one's a breeze. With Muchiro's slight poison resistance shown with the poison needles from Gyoko, he should be able to take care of Gyutaro in time before the poison takes him. His strengths in later arcs also backs things up on this for me as well. Obanai Igaru, Serpent Hashira. I don't think that the poison would be a factor in this fight because Obanai would overpower him before he gets to that point. What he lacks in physical strength, he excels in tactical skills. Plus, he has the help of Kubamaru to help cover his blind spots. Not a super easy one, but I think it would be a dominant one still. Sanemi Shinigazawa, Wind Hashira. He falls in line with Obanai in the sense that he will be able to overpower him, but it would be at a heavy cost given his head-on attacking style. He would take a lot of poison and need much medical treatment after the fight, but Sanemi would claim the W as well. Gyuto Water Hashira. Hate to sound like a broken record, but he is on similar terms with Obanai and Sanemi. But the post-battle is where it would be different. I think Obanai excels in swift movements, where Gyu is still good, but has a different style of attacking. So he would have taken more poison than Obanai, but not as much as Sanemi. A good defense he can use is Dead Calm to counter any incoming attacks and go on the offensive to overpower and eliminate Gyutaro. Gyome Himajima, Stone Hashira. He'd defeat him effortlessly and still cry like he normally does. His sheer strength and long-range weapon won't allow Gyutaro to even get close to him. Shinobu Kocho, Insect Hashira. It's hard to go in depth with my thoughts on this because it requires spoiler territory info, but I'll do the best I can. A battle of poisons. This match comes down to who can deal the lethal poison first. I think Gyutaro's poison is slower killing, where Shinobu can kill him instantly or make him die a slow and painful death. She would be easily overpowered. A victory on her end would include being able to be quick enough to inject the poison without taking too much damage. A loss would be him catching her and overpowering her with his powerful attacks. Of the two scenarios, I think she would come out on top due to her swiftness, and she uses a quick killing poison. For those who did not come out on top, would a Hashira mark change my decision? I think I'll put Tengen and Rengoku at better odds of winning, but for Shinobu, the outcome would be the same. Now it's time for the 2-on-1 scenarios. Tengen Uzui, dead. Kyojuro Rengoku, dead. Mitsuri Kanroji, dead. Muchiro Tokito, dead. Obanai Iguro, dead. Sanemi Shinigazawa. There's a slight chance, so I'll say he can do it. His hyper-offensive style will allow him to break through Daki easily without taking damage, and he would essentially be at a slightly harder one-on-one since he has to go back and decapitate Daki when she recovers if she doesn't take care of Gyutaro fast enough. Gyu Tomioka, dead. Gyome Himajima. I believe he would effortlessly defeat Daki and can quickly be on the offensive to take down Gyutaro in time with his wide range of attacks. Shinobu Kocho, dead, unfortunately. You're probably wondering why I had all these Hashira dead to an upper rank 6 demon. The answer is simple. The killing condition for these two plays a massive factor in this. Daki can keep the opponent at a distance with her Obi, while the poison from Gyutaro slowly whittles them down, and it's a game of cat and mouse. You may be able to behead one, but you have to hunt the other one down before the other regenerates, and that's just too hard to handle alone. Now it's time for the final section, where I came up with 2 groups of Hashiras to take them down on even terms. There are multiple combinations you could use, but these are my favorite 2. Sanemi and Obanai is the strongest pairing in my opinion. They are besties and fight well together, as shown in the beginning of the Hashira training arc. Both are strong enough to take on both alone and come out with a victory. Their good coordination will play a huge role in this victory, with the least amount of injuries to them. For this last fun combination, I would pair up Tengen Uzui and Shinobu Kocho. Odd combination, but I think it'll give Tengen a good redemption fight that would keep us viewers at the edge of our seats still. Shinobu can poison both of them, putting them on a timer as well. Her swiftness will allow her to stall out time for the poisons to kick in and weaken them, as she should also be able to dodge their attacks with ease. At the same time, it'll give Tengen a better opportunity to build up his musical score ability. We've seen Gyutaro quickly recover from poisoned kunais that Hinitsuru used on him, but Shinobu's batch would be more potent and can be repeatedly injected. Gyutaro in his weakened state will put him and Tengen on nearly equal footing, and then Tengen would come out on top with his hand and eye intact, and would not have to retire from the corpse. What do you think about these head-to-head matchups? Let me know in the comments below. If this video does well and you all want more content like this, I can compare all the Hashiras against a different upper ranked demon. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.